Okay, so the play we're diving into today, it really tackles some tough stuff. It's called Under the Skin. And get this, it's about a love affair, but not just any love affair. We're talking of a Jewish prisoner and a Nazi officer in a concentration camp based on a true story.
Yeah, this isn't your typical love story, that's for sure. I mean, this play, it's won awards, it's been produced internationally, it gets under your skin, makes you think about things you'd rather not.
And it jumps around in time, right?
Yeah.
You got 1991 Tel Aviv during the Gulf War, and then it takes you back to 1944 in Nazi Germany. What's the deal with that? Why the double timeline?
Well, you've got Charlotte, she's older now, a Holocaust survivor, haunted by her past, living in Tel Aviv. And then there's Kirsten, a young German journalist who comes to interview her in the present day. So by going back and forth, the playwright shows us how the past bleeds into the present, how trauma lingers.
Right, right. And then you've got Ida. She's a ghost, apparently,
Yeah,
but only Charlotte can see her. That's a whole other level to things.
definitely. Like, even after all these years, the trauma of the Holocaust, it doesn't just disappear. Can you ever truly escape something like that?
That's a question that keeps coming up, especially when you meet the two people at the heart of this story. Ilse Coleman, they called her Boob, a Nazi officer, and Lotte, she's a young Jewish dancer imprisoned in the camp.
And there it is right there, the power imbalance. It's all messed up from the start.
So even in this horrific system, you see these moments between them. Like, Ilse steps in when Lottie's being punished, saves her from a worse beating, and she brings Lotte a gift, of all things, a pair of ballet shoes.
Ballet shoes. In a concentration camp, it's a lot to unpack.
For sure. Makes you wonder, can you even call something an act of kindness in a place like that?
That's the question the play wants you to wrestle with. Can any good deed make up for being part of something so horrific? Is redemption even possible?
Heavy stuff. And then there's the apple scene.
Oh yeah, the apple. It's so simple, but you can feel the weight of their situation, the power dynamic, everything in that one shared piece of fruit.
Man, and we're just getting started. Back again, and wow. If you thought the first part was intense, buckle up. Family secrets, impossible choices. Yeah, it's about to get heavy.
No kidding. Things take a turn when we find out Kirsten's real reason for talking to Charlotte. She's not just some journalist, she's Ilse Coleman's granddaughter, looking for answers about her family.
Whoa, talk about a bombshell. Charlotte's face-to-face with the granddaughter of someone who represents everything she went through. I mean, how could she not be angry?
It's a huge moment. You can feel the weight of history right there in the room. Charlotte's angry, sure, but there's something else there too, like a need to tell her story, maybe?
To make sure people don't forget.
Exactly, and that's what she does. Even with all that anger, she tells Kirsten everything, gives her a window into what her grandmother was a part of.
And that's how we end up back in Neuengamme as it's falling. Allies closing in, prisoners being sent to Bergen-Belsen, another level of awful.
Yeah, the play doesn't hold back on that. Lotte, Ida, shoved into cattle cars, headed to a death camp. It's a brutal reminder of how far the Nazis were willing to go, even when they were losing.
What about Ilse? What happens to her when Lottie's taken away?
She makes Lotte a promise. She says she'll find her, even in Bergen-Belsen. But of course she can't just waltz in and help a Jewish prisoner, not now, so what does she do? She disguises herself, puts on a prisoner uniform, follows Lotte into the camp.
She was willing to risk her life, her freedom, everything to be with her. What was she thinking?
That's the question, isn't it? Love, guilt, trying to make things right somehow. The play doesn't tell us. It's like it wants us to sit with all the messy possibilities, especially in a situation this messed up.
Try to imagine what Lottie must have been going through. Being sent to Bergen-Belsen, the fear, not knowing if she'd ever see Ilse again. And then there she is. Disguised, but there. That's a lot. Okay, so here we are, the final act of Under the Skin. And let me tell you, it's a tough one. Just when you think things can't get more intense.
It really makes you think Bergen-Belsen is liberated, right? Should be a happy ending. But it's not that simple.
Not at all. I mean, Lotte sees Ilse again. After everything, what happens?
Let's just say it's not the reunion Ilse was hoping for. Lotte is furious. Seeing Ilse in that prisoner uniform, it's like she's trying to erase what she did, Like she thinks she can just blend in, be one of the victims.
There to escape judgment.
Exactly. But Lotte, she sees right through it. And then Ida, Lottie's friend, the one who's been with her through all of it, she dies. Right there.
Oh, man. Right as they're being liberated. Talk about a lot to process. Freedom, grief, facing the person who represents so much pain. How does Lotte even begin to deal with that?
That's the thing about this play. It puts you right there in that impossible moment. Lotte has a choice to make. Does she hold on to whatever she felt for Ilse,
Yeah.
Or does she choose justice?
And she's surrounded by it all, right? The horrors of Bergen-Belsen, the bodies, the
Yeah,
smell.
exactly. It's all right there. And in that moment, she makes a decision people are still talking about. She points Ilse out, tells the British soldiers who she really is.
Wow. On the one hand, it's like this act of defiance, taking back control. But then on the other hand, you have to wonder, is it revenge? Did she become part of the cycle of violence, in a way?
That's the brilliance of it. There's no easy answer. The play doesn't give you one. It makes you sit with the questions. Imagine having to make that choice after everything.
And the yellow badge.
Yeah.
It's there all the way through, isn't it? First, it's a symbol of hate, and then it ends up with Kirsten.
Right. From a mark of oppression to a family heirloom, it connects everything, past and present. When Charlotte gives her that badge, it's like she's saying, this is your history too, don't look away.
Powerful. And then that line at the end, Charlotte says, but the dead cannot forgive, just sends chills down your spine.
It's like this reminder, some wounds, some scars, they don't heal, not completely.
This play, it stays with you. It makes you think about history, about choices, about the things we carry with us. Under the Skin, everyone. Check it out if you can handle it. That's it for us this time. Until next time, keep asking those tough questions.